players to be able to go through or achieve their workflows. So we have had location in real estate, and just how does location intelligence help real estate players? There are many challenges within the real estate sector, such as keeping up with technology. Profitability is an issue, maintaining sufficient inventory, working with agent teams or brokerage management, just to mention but a few. But how do we really address these problems? We use geographic information systems, and this system enables a geographic approach for data collection, be it site selection or doing due diligence on the ground. The system enables you to do your data collection. You're able to do visualization and mapping just to know where the projects are, the status of the projects, where are the projects that are currently ongoing, where are the projects that are completed. If you're looking at portfolio, how are your properties performing? Then you do your analysis and modeling, and you're able to forecast. Looking at something like pricing, you want to know the demographics of a region for you to be able to set a price for rent or even selling houses. Planning and geodesign. Of course, we understand that real estate starts from construction. You need to get a place that is suitable for you to do your construction, be it retail or commercial or for residential purposes. You need to plan and design. Then finally, this system enables you to make informed decisions, and ideally, eventually, you're able to take action. So by and large, you're able to improve how we create the future using the geographic approach. So how do you go about the geographic approach? We have our system, ArcGIS system, that is distributed and it's interconnecting the real estate workflows. Think of planning and design and eventually maintenance of assets. So we have projects which we have projects and systems. So we see a new pattern, which we call it as infrastructure. So where we have many distributed systems, they are brought together, and eventually we have one complete system. It's a transformational architecture that opens many new opportunities for discovery and also work between and among organizations and key industry players within the real estate segment. So the system enables us to do data management, and you're able to organize and manage records of land parcels if you're into the business of selling land parcels, and also looking at where you want to develop of this data really is the land parcels. We want to see where our parcels of land are, and also looking at the tax on this pieces of land, like the land rates. We want to know the cadastral history of this land. We want to query on these parcels of land as well. So we are able to manage and apply land information through having ArcGIS system in place. Think of land valuation, think of having 3D buildings and a whole digital cadastre, managing tax collection, managing property valuation appeals, and so on and so forth. So this system enables us to have a land information that is fundamental for civil society, and GIS is used for parcel management around the world. So the system also enables us to perform analytics and think of market research, value analysis, property values, which are key to our real estate players. This system enables business and economic development. Geography and GIS continue to be increasingly used in private sector, and what we are seeing here on the screen, these maps show a few examples from business and economic developments, such as looking at modeling consumer behavior, monitoring and optimizing supply chains, and performing market research for market planning, such as picking the right location and the right territories. So this system, ArcGIS system that we're talking about, it's an enterprise system, and it supports hundreds of interconnected workflows. And think of all the players that are within the real estate sector, like the GIS professionals, the surveyors, the planners, architects, engineers, and also IT professionals. So the system at the end of the day supports mission critical applications by linking together knowledge workers, mobile workers, executives who are at the level of making key decisions, and also it supports public engagement and open data. So public engagement, think of you doing advertisement of your portfolio or real estate assets, and you want the public to be able to know where these buildings are, or other houses are, for them to purchase or rent. So there is need for us to have a system that enables us to interact directly with the public, thus enhancing collaboration. So BIM and GIS workflows are happening continuously in smart cities. And when we talk about BIM, that is building information model, which forms the basis of a real estate, really. We are starting with all the way from construction up to the marketing level, and we are having our customers coming in and making purchases. So the building information model supplies detailed information about build assets, and GIS provides information about assets in the context of built and natural environment. Think of the context of land information models, network information models, and think of sewer lines, telecommunication lines, city information models, and so on and so forth. So ArcGIS as a system, it provides a platform to integrate CAD and BIM. It brings together multiple communities and workflows, and this system enriches GIS by supporting the design, build, and management life cycle. So we have been able to create a strategic partnership with Autodesk, where we are able to link our system to Autodesk through our desktop solution, that is ArcGIS Pro, which I'll showcase later in the demonstration. And the link between these two, or rather the integration point comes, we have been able to link this to the cloud construction, BIM cloud construction application, and we're able to access whatever information that is there, bring it into the GIS environment, be it Revit files or IFC files or CAD data. And we also have an ArcGIS for AutoCAD connector, and we have GeoBIM, which links now our system to the, which links ArcGIS Enterprise and ArcGIS Online and our system to the Autodesk environment. So ArcGIS provides a platform for integration. I'll reiterate on that. And we have the BIM file, which is, we have the building information model, that is a process of creating and managing 3D, 4D, and 5D information for a construction project across multiple disciplines that are used to model structures, such as buildings, could be roadways, railways, and bridges. And of course, we are not forgetting buildings, which is the key thing in this real estate. So ArcGIS Pro supports BIM design files from industry foundation classes, that is IFC, and Autodesk Revit files as ArcGIS BIM file workspaces. So from the BIM side, we are seeing that we do have discipline, that is architecture. We couldn't be having files, MEP files, that is mechanical engineering and plumbing file, disciplines such as survey and utility. We have quite a number. Then we have the category. So under architectural, we do have those. We have then further down, we have the family, where we have the, like, though we are looking at double glass or single flash, and we also have the type that explain more about this particular family that falls under the different categories that we have. On ArcGIS BIM file workspace, we have the feature dataset, and that is an equivalent of the discipline that we're talking about. Architecture, could be survey, could be MMP file, civil engineering data and all that. Then we have the category, which now references the feature class in ArcGIS. The family is the attribute, and also the type falls under attribute within the ArcGIS workspace. So GeoBIM connects projects into context, and it addresses challenges such as, you'll find that there is no easy way to bring GIS and BIM together and all the project stakeholders. So looking at a whole project cycle, we do have a timeline, and we have stakeholders, key stakeholders who are taking part in the implementation of the construction project. So we have project teams that keep sending data back and forth, which wastes time and duplicates data in multiple systems. So BIM will provide content while GIS provide context, and together these two will decrease the operational cost, thus increasing project suitability. So we're just going to look at some of the benefits, looking at, for instance, a residential information management system. GIS enables us to do monitoring and evaluation. We're able to understand where our projects are at. We are able to see the impact within these project areas. So the key things that this tool helps us to do is data collection. We're able to do status updates with visualization. We are able to do data layering and analysis. And at the end of the day, we are able to identify challenges and changes in patterns over time. ArcGIS enables 3D visualizations and representations, and we are able to tell compelling stories about properties with maps. So ditch the old way of doing newsletters, sending PDF files to clients. We are moving to a more immersive way to really capture the attention of our viewers. So if somebody maybe has already paid up part of their fees for them to buy property, we are able to send them updates using story maps that are immersive, which incorporates text and other media, and of course maps. They're able to do like a virtual tour of the property that they are interested in, or they are paying up for. We are able to do geo-enrichments and demographic data, so we're able to understand demographics around where our projects are being implemented. We also have a capability for indoor space management, especially for story buildings. So GIS also in real estate supports onboarding of new customers. If we are doing rental houses, or we are getting clients to buy property, we're able to visualize all our projects, and we're able to even track the project progress through imagery. So by flying drones, you're able to see that 1 year ago, we did start a project, and within 3 months or 6 months, we have a remarkable improvement in terms of development within the area of interest. We can also track maintenance schedules, where we have customers reporting their problems, and we are able to address that by sending a team to the ground to address these issues that are affecting our customers. So at the end of the day, we are able to do status reports from tenants. We're able to do maintenance reports, do maintenance schedules, and also track rent from properties and know who has paid and who hasn't. And actually, be able to visualize that on a map. So with that, I will do a quick demonstration, just touching on the capabilities that we have highlighted in the PowerPoint presentation. So allow me to reshare my screen. If you can see my screen. Great. So what we are seeing here, this is our desktop solution, one of our desktop solutions. This is ArcGIS Pro. And as I mentioned earlier, ArcGIS supports data management. So we are able to bring in all our data that we are working with. So think of, you've already selected a site for development, and really you need the data or the baseline data for you to start developing that piece of land. So what we have here, this is an example of a site, a development site. We have parcels, we have access roads, we do have fire hydrants, we have drains, and key data sets such as contours. So all this information we are able to bring in, and key players within the real estate sector, let's say working with surveyors and also planners, need this tool to be able to do their planning and design. So once we are done with this, we are able to share this information on the cloud, that is ArcGIS Online. So we do publish this information by clicking on share. We are able to share web maps, we are able to share web layers. And if you're working with buildings or other building footprints, for instance, these ones over here. So this is an example of data sets from National Housing Corporation of Tanzania. So if we have building footprints and we know the height of those buildings, we can also visualize this information in 3D, just the way we are seeing here. So you have your data, you know the height of the building. Let me just open an attribute table. Yeah. So we know the height of the building. We can always extrude and be able to visualize that in 3D. I don't know if my attribute table has opened. Yeah, so looking at your attributes, if you have the Z value, you're able to also visualize this information in 3D. And the system also supports CAD data. So you'll find that you want to convert data from one format to another. Maybe you have CAD data coming from Autodesk, and you want to work with that data within the GIS environment. So this system supports working with CAD data, and we can see the tools here. So when I click on the tab on CAD data, I am able to perform various operations on my data. I am able to export features. I'm able to copy features. I can convert a feature to a polygon. I can do spatial joins. I can append data. I can do merging and all that. Then we can regenerate symbology. So there is really a seamless workflow. So you don't have, we are curbing the effect where you're bringing your CAD data into ArcGIS Pro and everything gets distorted. Think of annotations that you're working with, points, lines, and polygons. So you're able to regenerate symbology. You're able also to group by CAD layer. And most importantly, if your data does not have context, that is the GIS element, you're able to georeference this and be able to have the data drawing where it's supposed to draw, like when you reference it to the real world. Yeah, so you can also define projection and be able to give it a coordinate reference system. So those are CAD tools that you can work with, and the system is it has a very intuitive user interface. We have ribbons here. You're able to perform analysis. You can insert data. You can do connections. So we have analysis, various kinds of analysis that you can perform within the system. You can bring in imagery, be able to work with imagery data, and so on and so forth. So what I want to touch on here is now to bring in the concept of GIS and BIM integration using the GeoBIM tool, which we'll see later. So under connections, on the insert tab, we click the insert tab, and under connections, we are able to connect to databases. We are able to connect to the server, cloud store, stack collection for imagery, and we have the new BIM cloud connection. So a prerequisite for us to be able to actually achieve this integration is that we need an account for the BIM construction cloud, and also ArcGIS Online or Enterprise that will enable you to access GeoBIM. So since I've already connected my BIM cloud connection, you can see it's grayed out, but I'll just go to my catalog. And when I go to my catalog, you'll see that I do actually have the connection here. So I have my connection here. I logged into the BIM construction cloud, and I am able to access my project that I created there, and also my project files. So the project that I created on the BIM construction cloud is called Esri GeoBIM, and we can see here the project files with the different disciplines that we were talking about. Yeah, so we have architecture. Under architecture, we have hospital, urgent care, and civic center. Don't worry, I'll show these layers in due course. They're in several maps here. Then we have civil structures. We do have drainage. We have mechanical engineering and plumbing files also. And we've talked about it's a built environment. So it's not just buildings alone, but we also work with infrastructure. So if you're talking about buildings, then you need to think about how the buildings are going to be accessed. So that means also you need data for the roadway or the access roads to your portfolio. So we have other disciplines such as survey and utilities, and yeah, that one is still loading. And we have also structure and building. So we have different disciplines, and yeah, so we have different disciplines that you can just be able to bring in project files there. So Victor, I don't know if my screen is visible.
It is.
Yeah, so hold on a bit. I'm resharing my screen so that we are able to see the disciplines that I'm talking about. Just give me a second. Great. So I believe you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you're seeing there, that is CAD data. So let me go back to the disciplines, then we proceed. So in our cloud connection, let me just log in. So those are, I'm required to log in into the cloud construction account, BIM cloud construction account, so that I am able to access my files from there. So let's give it a second. And I'm in. Yeah. So when I expand that, I am able to see the organization that my project is under. That is WVT Infra and Build. And I do have my project over there as GeoBIM. So we've talked about the project files from the different disciplines. Yeah, those are listed there. So next, I'm just going to show how this data draws. So it's BIM, and the files are in 3D because we have the Z value. So let's give it some time to load. So basically, what's going on here is that I am able to access data that is on the cloud, and I can add this data on the map by expanding the folder under under the discipline that I'm interested in, and adding it to my GIS environment. Yeah, so for instance, for the architecture discipline, we have 3 files there. And if I wanted to add these on my map, I'm just need to, let's give it some time to load. So I just need to right click on it and download it, either download it to a project folder or download and add it to my current map, so that I am able to access these files and be able to manipulate them on the ArcGIS environment. Yeah, so besides that, I can also, having downloaded this information or data, I am able to push it to ArcGIS Online by simply clicking on sharing. I click on share, or I look for analysis tools and share this information as a scene layer package. So I can generate a scene layer package. I go to geoprocessing. I had already done that. I'm not going to generate a new one. I'll just take us through the history. So we can create scene layer packages. Sorry, the files are quite heavy. Just give them some time to load. So as we wait for it to load, let's go to geoprocessing tools. And here we can just search by the tool name. So if we want to create a scene layer package, looking at the scenes that we have within our ArcGIS environment, we search for create scene. Okay, so it's taking a while to load. We will just proceed, then we come back once it is done. So under geoprocessing tools, we do find create scene layer package. We create a scene layer package and save it on our local machine. And eventually we are able to add this layer on our ArcGIS online. So when I go to, I had already generated a scene layer package. So allow me just to go to the next stage. Let me know if you're seeing my screen. So I can go to my ArcGIS online. Yes, so I go to my ArcGIS online and I sign in using my credentials. So let's give it some time to load. Yeah, so this is an instance of ArcGIS online. If you belong to an organization, you can customize it however you want. So I go to my ArcGIS Online, which is a software as a service, and basically just a platform that enables us to collaborate between teams. Remember, I mentioned that GeoBIM is a bridge between all right, let me share. Okay. Yeah, so this is an instance of ArcGIS Online. I am logged in and here I have already generated my scene layer package, and I can just come to content and be able to add this scene layer package into my ArcGIS Online as content. So I click on content, then I click new item, then I select scene layer, and I navigate to where my scene layer package is. I had quite a number. So I navigate to where my scene layer package is, and I am able to add it. So I had already added to ArcGIS Online, so there is no need to repeat that. And I can have it as content within my organization. So yeah, so that is how you bring in the scene layer package into ArcGIS Online. Alternatively, if you're working with the web layers, you can be able to publish them and also publish web scenes and have them hosted within ArcGIS Online. So the next bit that I want to show us, still in the spirit of collaboration, GIS BIM integration, we do have the application here, and we click on it to fire it up. We click on GeoBIM, then it loads, and we are able again to connect. At this point, we are able to connect to our account. So we can create a new account. We click create new. Sorry. So here we are seeing projects that are owned by me, but when we click on accounts, we can connect an account or create a new account if you're not logged in already. So under accounts, when we click on accounts, we can see existing accounts, or we can create a new one and just establish that connection between Autodesk BIM Cloud. So yeah, we do have an account here. We can view or delete and create a new one. So since we already have an account, let's view it, and we can see that it's the same information that we are seeing on ArcGIS Pro. So we have the account there, and we have our project over there. Then we click OK. So the next bit is tools, and under tools, we do have documents, we have issues, and also project boundaries. So you will not escape having complementary documents that speak to a project that you're working on. So there is need that we actually are able to tie this data or building information models with the various documents that are associated with them. So we click on settings, we force sync and save that and make sure this is checked. Then for issues, so issues could be you're doing inspections and issues are able to come up, and we need to locate these issues. Could be design issues, engineering issues, construction issues on a map based on the engineering documents, locations and projects addresses. So for this bit, we check the use project address, we force sync and save and make sure it has a check mark on it. Then the next bit is to create BIM project boundaries. We check that, and under settings, we make sure that the merged document boundaries have no holes. So we check that. We check the wrapped document boundaries, and we check the enveloped document boundaries as well. And once we are done with that, we close it, then we run. When we run, the next bit now is to come to links. So we come and create links, now associate our BIM data with the documents, associated documents. And remember, all this information is coming from the construction cloud. So we link our features, having published or shared our data, scene layers, scenes, maps, building scene packages. We are able to now link our features with the documents. So first, under links, we click on data, we select data, and we could be having web maps or web scenes, and that could be your content or what has been shared within the organization or what is publicly available. So for our case, we are working with web scenes, and we are going to select this particular one, Highlands Ranch Demo Esri Eastern Africa. We select that and we click done. Once we click that, then we are able to see our layers drawing on the map. Remember, GIS is bringing the context and BIM is bringing the content. So we are able to see our drawings there in the BIM files drawing or BIM data drawing on the map. And we can now link features at this point. So when we click on link features, sorry, let me just go back. Yeah, so we have selected our data, and we can actually see that we actually have drawings that are, or documents that are tied to our data. So we have the name of the drawing or the document, the account. So you could be having various accounts. Then we have the project. So our project, remember, the project that we are working with is Esri GeoBIM, and we can actually show linked documents. If we didn't have any, we can hover and click on any of the drawings there or the documents, and we are able to actually link them. So for us to be able to preview, I'll just click on this play button, and voila, we do have our document right there. So we can play around with it, span, zoom in and out, perform, can also do measure. We have the measure tool here, and we can also click on the document browser, which will take us back to the BIM Construction Cloud account. Then a quick overview of the Autodesk BIM Construction Cloud. So this, you need to be an account admin for you to be able to create a project, and you can add in members. Remember, we're talking about a system of collaboration. You can add in members who are working with the same project as you, add in companies. It's a team of teams, and give roles. So we have different roles. We have different stakeholders within a project. You give roles and create applications. What is interesting, when you look at applications here, and we, in the spirit of integration and collaboration, we do have quite a number. And yeah, let me know when you see it. So we have ArcGIS GeoBIM, and we have ArcGIS Pro. So for our GeoBIM, we are basically looking at design checking and coordination, and ArcGIS Pro is for field management. Since we already established the cloud connection, you can actually see that the two are activated here. So just to conclude now on GeoBIM, we have been able to look at links, we have been able to look at tools, accounts, and lastly, we want to look at applications. So you can create dashboards within GeoBIM, that is viewer dashboard, and also issues dashboard. So this is an instance of an issues dashboard, and we can see that issues that have been raised, we have 67 issues, and the issues status report, we can see some issues have been answered, some have been closed, some are open. So we have 58 which are open. That is quite a big number. So when we click on the open issues, we can actually see that we have design and coordination issues, and coordination issues are more, make them the most of our issues. And when we look at subtypes, we have critical impact, we have coordination, we have design, we have request change, and we can also see. So going back to our cloud construction account, you saw that you can actually add companies for you to be able to collaborate. So we have companies here that are tied to these issues that we are talking about. And that's not all. You can also be able to filter by issue type over there and perform various analyses on the data that you're seeing here. So we do have the line of sight. You can be able to perform analysis such as line of sight. So if we click new analysis, we can be able to, for instance, if I'm here, let me just zoom in. If I'm here, I click there, and I want to see how my line of sight is. So we can actually perform analysis and be able to tell the blind spots and all that. So for instance, if you wanted a place where you can install a CCTV, this could be a good example of analysis that you could run to inform your decision making. So you can, once you're done with your analysis, you click done, you can create new analysis or continue with the analysis. Then we do have the shadow cast. So remember, this is still in the planning and design stage. We have not really actualized this, but we are able to correlate, or rather bring context to it within the GIS environment. So with the shadow cast, we are able to see different times of, we can be able to filter by date and also the threshold. So if we want to see areas above threshold or total shadow duration or discrete shadows, we can select either, and and just be able to visualize that as well. Then you are able to also look at daylight and sun position by date and time, and also the shadow. So I'll select today's date. I'll select today's date. Today's 28th of March 2024. Just skip that. I clear it first. So we come to sun. So move it to sorry. So we can select March, then we go to, okay, we can examine for 2022. So you can see as we play there, we are able to see the effect of the position of the sun on our building, and you can actually be able to visualize that on the map. Then we have, so I've talked about the sun. We also have the weather, and you can be able to see cloud cover, snow. If it's a region that actually snows, you can see how cloudy weather days will look like. Then we do have the building explorer. So you're able to explore your building using different disciplines and categories, and you're able to even slice using the different floors that we have within the building that we are designing. Then if it's a large development area, you can always have bookmarks. So for instance, ours here, we do have various developments going on, projects. So we can click on the bookmarks and see where the hospital is. We can click on urgent care and see. So our map zoom, our scene zooms to that location. We're able to see where the civic center is, and also like a general overview of our project. Yeah, so in the app itself, you can still create new issues. So issues that we were able to see, those were created from the Autodesk Construction Cloud, but you can also be able to create issues here. You're able to see your layers, turn them on and off, and also zoom into them. So now we have completed our construction. So what next? We are able to visualize our projects. We're able to see where our completed projects are. We're able to see also where the ongoing projects are in still within ArcGIS. So let's give this some time to load. So we are able to see the different categories of our projects, where they are located, and the status. Where are the ongoing projects? Where are the completed projects, or where are the proposed projects set to start? So we can also visualize that in 3D, like here. Over here, we can see that in 3D, and also, yeah, it's loading. As it loads, let's look at something else. So we can still create applications that we can actually do analysis within them. So we have the near me feature. If you're looking at ongoing projects that you're interested in, maybe purchasing or renting, you can actually search using your location. So our project site is in Tanzania, and I am in Kenya, but you can find an address here and be able to search a project site that is near you. Looking at now the realtors, we've talked about competition and just getting to understand your target customer. We do have business analysts, and this tool enables you to be able to get an demographic variables of a given region. So if I click on the pin and just drop it, let me just search. I'll search Dar es Salaam and click enter. So it zooms into Dar es Salaam, and I can be able to get demographics around this region. So I can do like 1, 3, and 5 kilometer buffer. I can do a drive time analysis or walk time. So let's do the rings buffer. I click apply, and I am able to get details about this area. So we have the 6 basic facts about this area. If I want to know the population facts, if I want to know nearby restaurants or what's within my community, I can select that. For demonstration purposes, let's do 6 basic facts, and I run the infographic. So once I run the infographic, I'll be able to get, or rather my data will be geo-enriched. I'll be able to extract demographic variables around this site that I've just selected. Let's give it some time to process, then we'll be able to see within the 1 kilometer, 3 kilometer, and 5 kilometer buffer what we have in terms of 6 basic facts. And what are these facts really? Let's wait for it to load. So I did talk about the 3D visualization. We can actually do 3D visualization of our buildings, especially for the story buildings, and visualize that in a GIS context. Yeah, so the tool has run and we can see that we do have a total population of 18,055 within 1 kilometer radius. We have total number of households 4912, average household size is 3.0. We can see the purchasing power. So this is very important for us to be able to make informed decisions in terms of pricing and also valuation. We can see the purchasing index per capita, and we can also see the household size index. And the beauty of this is that we can actually do a side-by-side comparison. So if we switch that on, we can see the facts that we have within 1 kilometer radius against 3 kilometer radius and 5 kilometer radius. So we can actually see that. We can export this as an infographic to put it in a report or embed it in a website or whatever thing that you want to do with it eventually. Of course, the whole purpose of doing analysis is that you have a data-driven kind of decision making. So we have these formats that you can export your infographic into. We have the PDF, image, and also dynamic HTML. Yeah, so we have seen all our, we have seen the ongoing projects, where they are, the completed projects, and we can just be able to, yeah, visualize all these within one place. So here we have a rental information management system where the rental houses are. So NHC deals with they do sell houses and some of them are for rent. So we are looking at, it's still loading. We are looking at the rental information management system. Allow it some time to load, and we can see where all the houses that are for rent are located. And we can actually be able to filter that by different attributes. If it's the rent, how much rent is paid. And we can also be able to actually tell, because this is a connected system or an integrated system, we can actually be able to query and see who has paid rent and who hasn't paid rent yet, how many houses have been are occupied, how many are not occupied yet, how many have been booked maybe for rent in 2 or 3 months time. Yeah, so this is in Swahili because it's for Tanzania. We can look at the various modes of payment which have been utilized. We are able to filter by house design. We are able to filter by rent payment status, the rent payment options, and also looking at number of bathrooms, where if I'm looking at for a house that has 2 bathrooms, I can actually filter that as well. Then we do have now the form. You apply to get to rent these houses. We have the applicant details. So tenancy status, are you a new applicant or you're staying there? Then your name, you provide the date of birth. If you're a new applicant, then you just give us your details and we are able to know whom you're staying with, details of inhabitants. So this is a form that we actually digitize for the same National Housing Corporation. And once that is filled, we are able to go to the next one, where we select a plot number where we are interested in. We are able to see the block number. So this one autofills when we select the plot number and we input our location. Where are we looking for business from NSC from? So we select, I'll just type in Dar es Salaam. I'm in Dar es Salaam. I pick my locations to see where the request is coming in from. We click next, and we know the monthly payments, the monthly rent is that listed. How are we going to pay? We are going to pay in cash, and click next, and we agree with the terms and conditions, and we submit. So once a request is made and is submitted, we do have people at the back office who are actually getting this information firsthand. So they'll be able to see number of applications that have come in. They're able to get even control numbers. That is how it works back in Tanzania. They're able to see employment status, who are employed, how many are retired, who are self-employed, who are unemployed, which kind of property is gaining traction, and all that. They can also request for control numbers, and we can actually see the details that are coming in. So yeah, we are able to see that firsthand, and we can click on one of the requests and see the request location was Wellington Road, block number A18. We have the phone number and the email address, and they're requesting for a control number for 3 months. So we can reach out to them and be able to sort them out. So yeah, that is the rental information management system. And next is the application form for house purchase. So I've mentioned that there are houses for rent and some are for purchase. So for the house purchase, you can still register if you're a prospect or you're actually looking into buying a new house. So you fill in the details in the form, a digital form, and it feeds into the system, and we are able to actually do the customer management. So the form is right here. We click next and select if we are purchasing the house or we are a prospective customer. Then once we select that, so we have different sets of questions for each one of them. So once we fill the form, then our information comes in here, where people in the office, NHC office, are able to see this information coming in, and they're able to act on them, and also just be able to understand how the business is going like out there. So we have the customer management platform, where we are seeing the details on the people that are actually purchasing the houses, and who are prospecting, and where they're coming from, and all that information. So we can see details coming from as far as 2022. Then yeah, so we can also see, we can actually be able to project and say, this is the match that we are projecting, looking at the prospects and also people that have actually purchased the house. All right, so with that, then there is the maintenance bit. So the plumbing system will fail. Sometimes the CCTV will fail. You will lack, you will lose, there will be power outage, and you're cut off the grid. So we need to take care of our clients at the end of the day. So we do have the maintenance requests management, and we can actually just be able to filter using the request number and see where it is, when was the request made, and has it been addressed. So we can see the total number of requests, how many have been resolved, how many have been assigned to be resolved, and also the active requests that have not been addressed. So this information is coming in again through a form that the tenants are filling in for us to be able to get this information. So we have the maintenance request form, and just selecting from the projects that we have. We select, so we have tenants there, we select the project, and we select what is the problem. How do they want to be helped? Maybe it's an electricity issue, CCTV malfunction, there is no Wi-Fi. Then they can explain and also take an image, then give us more information about this problem. So how is the situation like? Is it just, has it been there for a while now? How many people have been affected, and so on and so forth. And this is what feeds into this system. All right, so we cannot just be in the business of selling houses and we are not out there advertising. So sales and marketing is a key component of real estate. So we have a newsletter here that just shows the projects live tour, so we can see where our projects are. And you see, I talked about a virtual tour. So I just scroll and I can see my projects, where my projects are located, all the number of projects that we have. And we can see, we can narrow down to a specific project like the Victoria Place project. We can see the interior of the building with the pictures there. Yeah. Then we have the sales process. So in the same newsletter, we are able to provide information to our clients, how they can reach us, and just the finer details of how to go about when they want to purchase. So they can start their buying process now. They click there, they are directed to our website to get the form and fill in, and they can also start the process of buying the house. And we give them more information about strategic plan and also more services that we are offering as a national housing corporation. And with that, I'd like to stop and take any questions that